Without access to the majority of community-made content for games, you are missing out on the heart and soul of the game itself. Like many gamers, I've experienced the frustration of missing out on amazing community-made content simply because I didn't purchase the game on Steam. Just imagine the possibilities of accessing a vast world of mods that could enhance your gaming experience regardless of which platform you play on. In this video, we'll delve into the biggest issue that's been silently monopolizing the gaming market, stifling creativity and limiting our choices as gamers. Get ready to uncover the truth about Steam's mod system and why it's high time for a change. Let's get into it. I would like to begin this video by stating that if you are seeking information on how to download mods via the Steam Workshop for games from platforms other than Steam, kindly refer to the description below. The updated link I have provided outlines the most effective method I have come across, the website you need, and you can also refer to my previous video for instructions on how to add the mods to your game. Nothing about that process has changed, and I will include all resources, tools, and relevant info down below. This video is not going to be an instructional video. Instead, it will focus on an issue that's very important to me and many others, while some may have never known that this issue existed. Many gamers purchase their games on Steam and consider it a one-stop shop, not having to worry about additional steps because they've bought into a monopolized platform that provides everything they need. But let's take a moment to imagine ourselves on another platform, like Epic Games. Despite making waves in its fight against the giant named Steam, Epic Games lacks several features, including player-generated content like mods. And in many cases, mods are the heart and soul of a game, like People Playground and Cities Skylines, for example. Despite regularly providing free games to its player base, Epic Games' limited mod support often leaves gamers wondering where to go next to upgrade their gaming experience. Unfortunately, the answer is often to go back to Steam. Let's take a closer look at Cities Skylines for the sake of this argument. This beloved city builder has revolutionized the genre since its introduction to the gaming sphere and is often offered for free on the Epic Games Store. However, upon downloading it from Epic, we quickly realized that their claim of mod support is abysmal if it exists at all. Most information on Epic's mod support seems to stop at 2020, and even if there are a few games with mod editors, it creates an even deeper problem if you own the game on a different platform and want to access mods from Epic. In contrast, a quick Google search for Cities Skylines mods leads us to two sites for mod support, Nexus Mods and Steam. Ignoring the fact that the mods on Nexus are usually outdated or unofficial, it's evident that the majority of mods for this game are exclusively available on Steam, although there may be some official mods outside of Steam. So the question arises, how can we access mods from the Steam Workshop on other platforms? The website Steam Workshop Downloader proved to be an incredibly useful tool for the Epic Games player base, despite not being its original purpose. It offered a simple solution for players on other platforms to access mods for their games. The process was straightforward. Just paste the mod link into the site and it would convert it into a downloadable file. Then you could integrate it into your game by placing it in the corresponding folder. If done correctly, the mod would load without any issues. However, this method still had its drawbacks, such as the hassle of downloading and updating multiple mods manually, especially when the game itself receives updates. It can quickly become a cumbersome process. Though our options were limited, this method at least proved effective. True gamers will do anything to enhance their gaming experience. This may have been a small hurdle, but many were willing to overcome this obstacle. I and many others were grateful that this project existed, and then they were ordered by Steam to stop all their services immediately.
Valve has requested that we stop retrieving and redistributing content. We are not interested in the consequences of non-compliance. This site was maintained by hobbyists, and dealing with legal is not part of the hobby. People happened to find out that it somewhat worked for other games too, and asked for improvements on that front, which we made over time as a side project because it gave us a reason to rewrite the site, using new technologies and learn from it in the process. This is why the site worked so well. We kind of obsessed about all the little technical details. We tried to address every feature request that we got. The site got more popular in the last year. This was fun for a while because it was a new technical challenge to solve and we could help more people. Some people own a game on another platform and want mods. Some want to inspect mods. Some want to control when their mods update. Some want to change their mods, etc. However, since the events of last week, we realized that all this time, we did not properly factor in the legal implications. We reached out on Steam support and they told us to stop distributing content. At this point, the site is no longer a creative outlet, but a legal liability. The Steam subscriber agreement states that any file uploaded to the workshop becomes a licensed item. This means that if you upload a thing to the Steam workshop, and not to other places, people will never be able to freely share this thing with each other again. People will forever be forced to go through Steam directly to get it. This effectively means that Valve is able to corner a lot of user-generated content on their platform because users do not upload, or are not able or knowing to upload, their content anywhere anywhere else. Our site unintentionally grew as a tool to work around this, but these are the terms that we all agree to every time we tick that checkbox or use any of their software. Continuing to ignore this reality will be unforgiving.
With all this being said, it's clear to see the reasons why Steam holds onto mods and player-generated content so carefully, when in reality, I would like to think that most community enthusiasts would happily share their content with others. While Steam Workshop Downloader was only a passion project, this has sparked a lot more interest from other parties and groups in the last few years. In my pursuit of exploring this issue, I have found some like-minded people who share the same ideals behind this matter. Originally, I set out to find the best option for the Epic player base. Instead, I found several small communities who were close to each other and shared a purpose. While some do it for fun, and some do it because they want to help, they have taken the places of Steam Workshop Downloader. From broke university students to beginner programmers, they all thought it was important enough for them to help the user base and make these tools for people. While Steam Workshop Downloader didn't originally start as a workshop downloader, TikTok and perhaps my instructional sent additional traffic that had definitely played a part in what had eventually shut them down. Is maintaining a process like this even viable in today's market, or will Steam take them all down without batting an eye? To get a deeper picture of where these creators stood, I asked them several questions. Let's listen to them now. What compelled you to create an open source project to download and help to redistribute mods from Steam's Workshop?
Community Workshop is a project created in response to the obsoleteness of Steam Workshop Downloader.io and the private nature of its code, which left the gaming community powerless. The project was developed as an open source alternative to Steam Workshop Downloader, enabling the community to maintain and potentially rebuild the program if necessary. I was frustrated with buying games multiple times to access Steam Workshop, despite owning the same games on other platforms. While mod.io is an excellent option for modding, it is still a relatively new and lesser known platform. Despite its capacity for allowing users from multiple platforms to access the modding community without constraints, even for console games. Several game developers depend on their modding communities, and it's a shame that Steam remains the only viable option for modding in most cases.
How do you envision your project benefiting the gaming or modding communities?
Community Workshop Downloader benefits the gaming and modding community by allowing local storage of mods for single-player games without the need for internet access, which lets you schedule mod updates whenever needed. The most significant advantage is for gamers on different platforms or storefronts who don't have access to Steam Workshop mods without repurchasing the game on Steam. For example, Cities Skylines on Epic Game Store does not support Workshop access, and players would have to buy the title again on Steam, leading to unnecessary expenses.
What do you think about the monopoly that Steam has on community-created content, and how does your project address this issue?
Valve's monopoly over the modding community on Steam creates barriers to entry, reduces customer freedom, inflates prices, and stifles innovation. Valve mandates users purchase games from their store to gain access to the Steam Workshop, and this restricts individuals who bought games from other platforms from accessing the modding community. Community Workshop Downloader provides an alternative means of downloading mods that doesn't require Steam account verification by utilizing Steam CMD, a tool made by Valve which downloads the mods from the workshop. Community Workshop Downloader is an open source project that encourages transparency and community support. Plans for expansion to non-anonymous games and creating an API for other workshop downloaders are in the works pending sufficient financial support.
What do you see as the future of modding in the gaming industry, and how does your project fit into that future?
The gaming industry increasingly supports mods, even from typically fearful studios such as Ubisoft and EA. Game developers rely heavily on the modding community to create endless free content, with some games requiring an active modding community to sustain their popularity. With the availability of mods on most PC and console games and the emergence of cross-platform platforms like Epic Game Store, mod developers are realizing the need to include players from diverse platforms, and services like mod.io cater to this need. Community Workshop Downloader plays a crucial role in the modding environment, allowing access to Steam Workshop mods for users on other storefronts and providing support for games with limited modding options.
How can other developers and members of the gaming community contribute to your project?
Community Workshop welcomes contributions in various forms, and coding knowledge is not a prerequisite. Individuals can provide support by participating in discussions, providing feedback, using Share My Workshop, or spreading the word about the project. For aspiring developers, a form can be submitted, and if accepted, developers can contribute to the project. To ensure that users are following server guidelines, we would need a group of volunteers to act as moderators. Bug reporting is also essential, where users provide feedback, and developers work to rectify the issues. Financial support is necessary to maintain services and APIs, and the project may provide a subscription service, among other methods of funding, in addition to donations given by the community. The Share My Workshop service enables gamers to share workshop mods with others and relieve stress on our system. Social media liaison, who help to create videos and spread the word about Community Workshop, community interaction, and community translators, among other things, can also contribute to the project.
If Steam were to submit a takedown request, would you fight them, or would you be forced to withdraw like many others have?
If I received a cease and desist order, I will have to comply, as it is fundamental to respect the legal rights of others. This would mean that the GitHub repository would have to be archived archived and no further changes could be made to it. While it would be disappointing to discontinue the project, I would strive to meet any legal requirements that have been imposed by Steam. Fortunately, regardless of whether the project is discontinued, Community Workshop Downloader will remain an open source project. Others can use the code to create their own version, or fork the project and maintain Community Workshop Downloader as it is. The power of the community lies in its ability to create new solutions when another one is lost. This is precisely why I made this project open source, to ensure that the community can continue to benefit from it and come up with new solutions that meet their needs.
BERDY is the mind behind SCMD Workshop Downloader. This application seeks to facilitate the use of Steam CMD for any user looking to download items from it. It can download mods, process collections, and create quite useful scripts to update servers. What compelled you to create an open source project to download and help to redistribute mods from Steam's Workshop?
Steam Workshop Downloader had recently stopped working, and I wanted to install some mods from People Playground. I found some solutions, but they required manually working with the Steam CMD console, which was cumbersome, slow, and didn't make downloading mod collections easy at all. So taking advantage of the fact that I was learning to program in Python, I decided to create an application for it. Initially, it was just for myself, but eventually, I decided to share it with my friends and the internet. The first version wasn't very good, as you can see in the video where I explain how to install and use it. However, since there weren't many known alternatives to my application, and it received a good reception, I decided to improve it, and it is now the version you can see today.
What challenges have you encountered in developing this project, and how have you overcome them?
While developing SCMD Workshop Downloader, I was learning programming for the first time. I spent 2 months in a row, day after day, from 7 in the morning until 12 at night, in front of the computer programming, making mistakes and learning. For some dumb reason, it became personal to me, and I couldn't put it down until I was done.
What do you think about the monopoly that Steam has on community-created content, and how does your project address this issue?
Let's face it, no one has done a better job than Steam in almost any aspect. There's just no competition, and it's depressing. I find it shocking how Steam Workshop has made games like City Skylines more fun if you buy them on Steam. The distinction between who buys that game on the Epic Game Store and Steam is at least similar to who buys a game on consoles and who buys one on PC. After all, it's one where you can mod the game with ease. Like if your game is on Steam and has an active modder community in its workshop, your game is no longer just yours, it now belongs to Valve as well. Well, for those who don't want it to be that way, my project contributes what it can.
How do you plan to manage and maintain your projects in the long run?
Actually, I don't have any plans. When I have free time, I look at what complaints there are online about the application, or simply when I want to download a mod, I use it and I see something that is wrong, I go and fix it.
How can other developers and members of the gaming community contribute to your project?
The source code of my application is on GitHub. You can help me with it, modify it, learn from it, use it for something, or just suggest what to do with it.
If Steam asked you to stop your project or served you a cease and desist, what would your response be? Would you have to shut your project down?
Well, I like to think that would be impossible. You could say that my project is nothing more than a GUI for Steam CMD. In any case, they would render my method unusable if they wish by messing around with Steam CMD, which they have full control over, as far as I know. Anyway, in the hypothetical case that this happened, I would try to advise myself on the subject, and ultimately, yes, I would close my project.
MRDANYA is the developer behind GGNetwork, my next go-to tool for downloading mods from Steam, due to the simple and easy-to-use tools they provide. What compelled you to create an open-source project to download and help redistribute mods from Steam's Workshop?
When we planned this project, it was supposed to work only for People Playground, whose workshop is open because the developer understands that by placing the game on different sites, he should not prohibit access to the workshop, at the expense of which the game lives. We launched the download system a week before the closure of Steam Workshop Downloader. We were surprised when we saw that they had problems, and then they closed down altogether. Then we added other games according to which we were positioned on our old sites.
What challenges have you encountered in developing this project, and how have you overcome them?
We stumbled on every rock we could. Money, where to get it. Development, how to write something that is not common. Load, how to not fail with a rapidly growing audience.
What do you think about the monopoly that Steam has on community-created content, and how does your project address this issue?
I can't call myself a game-playing person, so for a long time I just heard about the Steam monopoly. But now I understand that Steam is a very backwards platform from our time, which does not have money to fix bugs, build servers, and update a terribly crooked site, and no less crooked application, both in terms of performance, so it is externally. We do not replace Steam, but we believe that mods belong to the community, not to uncles with money.
How does your project ensure that the intellectual property rights of the original creators are respected?
We do not consider Steam to be the owner of files. Each file has an author, he is the owner. Thanks to the incentive, the author transfers the right to use his files and cannot limit it in any way. If the author of the file wants to delete the file completely from the servers and prohibit its download on the site, we will fulfill his request. We are usually contacted for an update to the latest version, but not for deletion.
What do you see as the future of modding in the gaming industry, and how does your project fit into that future?
Mods should be open and distributed openly. We will help mods to be open and accessible.
Nether is currently working on Nether Workshop Downloader 3, a small project meant to solve the issue of downloading mods from Steam to use with other platforms, and managing mods easier and more efficient. What do you think about the monopoly that Steam has on community-created content, and how does your project address this issue? I believe that Steam's monopoly on community-created content can be limiting to both creators and consumers. By controlling the distribution of mods and limiting it to one platform, by providing a powerful workshop downloader and API that allows users to access any mod or collection they want, regardless of whether or not it's promoted on Steam. This gives smaller creators and less popular mods a chance to be seen and downloaded by a wider audience, which helps to promote a more diverse and inclusive modding community. How does your project ensure that the intellectual property rights of the original creators are respected? Nether Workshop Downloader respects the intellectual property rights of mod creators by only downloading mods that are publicly available on Steam Workshop and not tampering with or modifying the mods in any way. We do encourage supporting the creator, and in the soon-to-be released Nether Workshop Downloader 3, to be expanding the appreciation of mod creators by showing credit. And if the mod creators don't want their mods to be downloaded, below on the Nether Workshop Downloader GitHub, below you can contact me to blacklist the mod from downloading from the API. What do you see as the future of modding in the gaming industry, and how does your project fit into that future? I see the future of modding in the gaming industry as continuing to grow and evolve, with modding being the exact same, with more downloaders out there. Nether Workshop Downloader fits into this future by providing a powerful and efficient tool for managing and downloading mods from Steam Workshop, as well as supporting non-anonymous mods through the Nether API. I understand that there is a lot to this topic, and I may not have all the answers. There are many more sides. Hell, there's even controversy surrounding Epic right now because of the current game exclusivity choices that have been going on. You could talk indefinitely about these issues because PC gamers are taking it personally. On one hand, you don't want to let one company have all the power, but it's also bad if you allow other companies to fragment the market, and in either scenario, the only one that truly suffers is the consumer. What do you think about the issues I have talked about today? Let me know down in the comments below, or join my Discord. Let's talk about it. With all the topics we've covered today, I'd like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has contributed to making this video a reality. A special shout out goes to LEITH, who has been instrumental in gathering the materials and information necessary for this project. I'd also like to extend my sincere thanks to all those who watched and subscribed to my first YouTube video, which provided instructions on how to use and download mods for Epic Games. If you're looking for additional resources, please refer to the description of this video for guidance. I will also include relevant social links and project details below, as well as a Google Drive link to the text document containing all the interviews. Due to time constraints, I had to omit some questions from the video, so be sure to check out the links below for more insights from the developers on the subject. I hope that today's discussion has shed some light on an important issue that you may not have known about, and if you liked this video, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. And if you think this issue is important like I do, then please share it with somebody you know who would be interested. I think that this is such a big issue, but no one talks about it, except for at the bottom of Reddit threads. It's my belief that if we can convince Steam to address this matter and allow mods to be downloaded outside of their platform, it would go a long way in resolving this issue. Steam could even allow content creators or mod creators to check a simple box as to whether they agree or not, and would make a lot of gamers happy by doing so. This is one moment where the only people who are suffering are the consumers in the middle, while giant corporations are fighting above us. I can save the topic of a fragmented gaming market for the PC master race another day. Goodbye everyone, and have a wonderful day.